This video covers filling out the table binary class for a PDS4 label. In this video, we will cover the benefits of including binary tables in your archive and how to fill out the table binary class. We will be using the Oxygen XML editor to view the label file and PDS4 viewer to view the binary table. Feel free to pause or go back in the video at any time. Binary tables are one of the data formats that are archivable within the PDS. They can be useful for storing numeric data. In particular, they save space when storing floating point numbers. Binary tables have two major advantages over character tables for data storage. For tables containing primarily numeric data, the binary version will likely be substantially smaller than the character equivalent, and there is no conversion error in reading binary floating point numbers into memory on machines that use the IEEE 754 floating point format required by PDS4. Table binary is a class within the File Area Observational class of a Product Observational Label file. We will cover the entire File Area Observational class in this video. There are two classes that come before table binary in File Area Observational: File and Header. The File class provides the identifying information for the binary table file. This example includes file name, local identifier, and creation date time. The first attribute, file name, is required. The path to the file is relative to the label, so just the name is required. This is the name of the file containing the binary table. If the file needs to be referenced elsewhere in the label, you must include the local identifier attribute. Choose a short descriptive name. Note that this local identifier singles out the file itself, not any data structures that might be contained within the file. Creation date time is the time at which the data file was created. It is not required. A common structure in many files is the header, which can be described with the optional header class. There are three required attributes in the header class: offset, object length, and parsing standard ID. Offset is the offset in bytes from the start of the file to the start of the header. If there is no offset, like in this example, insert 0. Object length is the size of the header in bytes. The parsing standard ID attribute is chosen from a list of available terms spelled out in the core PDS data dictionary. The value indicates how the bytes in the header object should be read. In this example, the format is PDS3. This is legacy data with an attached PDS3 label that has been migrated to PDS4. Next comes the table binary class. You need to have an instance of table binary for every binary table in your file. There are two required attributes: offset and records, and four optional attributes: local identifier, MD5 checksum, name, and description. Offset is the offset in bytes from the beginning of the file holding the table data to the first byte in the table. Records is the total number of records in the table. Records in binary tables do not usually have record delimiters. On the rare occasions when they do, they are documented as just another field in the record. The record binary class is required and describes the structure of one complete record or row in the table. The fields attribute gives the number of field binary classes directly nested in the record binary class. This corresponds to the number of columns in your binary table. The groups attribute gives the number of group field binary classes nested in the record binary class. If your table has fields that repeat a given number of times, grouping those fields allows you to provide one entry for all of them. If you have no group field binary classes, like in our example, then this entry is 0. Record length gives the number of bytes in each record. Field binary details the specifics for each column in your binary table. There are several required attributes under field binary: name, field location, data type, and field length. This example includes some optional attributes as well: unit, field number, and description. Some other optional attributes include field format, scaling factor, and value offset. Name is the column header, field number is the column number, field location is the location in bytes of the first byte in the field relative to the first byte of the record. In this example, we can see that the first field is located at the first byte in the record, and the second field starts 5 bytes after the first byte in the record. Data type must be one of the values listed in the Standard Values Reference. The Standard Values Reference is available on the PDS website. Field length is the length of the field in bytes. Each field length value will be compared to the data type value when the label is being validated, so be sure these match. In the optional description attribute, you can provide a human-readable explanation for each field that can help future researchers better understand your data. This video covered filling out the table binary class in a PDS4 label. In this video, we showed the benefits of including binary tables in your archive and how to fill out the table binary class.